You're listening to the Complex Action Actual Play podcast. On this episode, the runners have just accepted their first job from Justice Shields, an up-and-coming lawyer in Columbia, South Carolina. We open with Shields thanking them for accepting the job, and Hailey wastes no time starting to do some Matrix research. Also, Elric does some alchemy on the bus. Now, please enjoy episode 2, Public Transit Alchemy. Says, all right, that's great, that's excellent. Like I said, we go to trial on Monday, so I need this done by really no later than Sunday, but the sooner the better, really. It's out of character, it's a Thursday right now.
Yes, Elric is taking out his comlink and looking at the screen, kind of squinting at it to read the date.
Hailey will be doing some research on Poncho, 6 hits.
All right, let me ask, does Hailey happen to have any gang knowledge skills as well?
I know the horseshoe and the surrounding area at a 3, but no specific game knowledge.
Oh God, so in the avenue of, I guess I should let you detail that, but never mind. Fix it in post.
There will be no fixing it in post.
Great, now I just look like an asshole.
No, you just an idiot, that's all. I'm just messing with you. You said you got 5 or 6 hits? That's pretty good. It'll take you, you'll be looking for this kind of information during the course of the rest of this meeting and maybe the subsequent conversation that you guys end up having. But by the end of it, you could find out that on various, maybe circles, like underworld circles, just there's been a little bit of talk about this guy Poncho who's gone missing that was that's involved with a gang called the Dragons.
Okay. Being the curious sort, she will gladly follow the tangent to figure out who the Dragons are. 5.
All right, so the Dragons are, without knowing, without being familiar with gangs in general, what is kind of publicly known, or, not like publicly, but what you can find is that the Dragons are a moderately sized gang in the Columbia area. They kind of are, they're all over in the Columbia area, but mostly in the northern Columbia area, north of downtown. They are suspected to be involved with Humanus, the Humanus Poly Club. And that's about all you can find out. They're just a gang that some people think have some anti-metahuman connections.
Okay.
So in the tradition that I have of having incredibly specific and useful knowledge skills, I have a criminal habits knowledge skill with the going to ground specialty.
Okay.
And then I rolled that and got 8 hits, but can only keep 6 of them.
All right, so what exactly are you wanting to know?
So this guy is on the run. Criminals always make the same kind of dumb, repetitive decisions where it's like, I know, I'll hide out from him in the place that other guy got busted. They'll never think to look for me there, and a few other things. So it's like being around the horseshoe for a little while, knowing kind of like where this guy is operating, and if I had heard anything on the thing he is running from, where would I go to hide if I were this guy?
I mean, there's a safe house would be the most obvious thing, but you could also, like with your gang, you could maybe get them to protect you, but other than that, like just any kind of a safe house or with your people.
So do I know where I could go knock on some doors?
There are, yeah. Short answer is yeah. You know of maybe 1 or 2 local safe houses, at least.
So, looking around the room, seeing one person kind of like in Matrix La La Land, turn back to Pillar. I got some doors to go knock on.
Alright. Do you need help with that, or you want to do it by yourself?
I guess he would probably then look down at Payday, who's, I can only imagine, has that 1,000-yard military stare.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'll take him.
Alright.
You got it. Fortunately, I have one seat available. Let's go.
Leroy will walk out in a hurry to get out of that suit.
And just so that you know, the GMC Phoenix that is sitting out there is a matte black. The windows are mirrored. And Payday motions to the back seat on the driver's side. And when you get in the car, you fully know why, because
He would actually ride his bike.
Oh, I didn't know you had one. Okay, perfect.
He'll go up to the Harley Davidson Nightmare, pull a bag off of it, and then in a, I guess kind of a crime, begin to go back inside to get changed and kind of ball the suit up and throw it into the duffel bag as he gets into like working gear.
What was with the suit?
Mama always said, just kind of leave it hang as though you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Before we go on to having, individual people who are doing their thing, I want to find out what everybody's going to be doing. So, what about the rest of you guys?
Well, Elric is essentially watching Danny and kind of trying to follow her lead. And he's kind of there in mind mainly to try to keep her out of as much trouble as he can. And since Hailey is there too, he feels like he kind of has to watch out for her as well. So that's kind of his attitude. He's mainly more keeping an eye on protecting the people that are around him in his group than being concerned with the job. He figures other people like Danny will know how to do that part.
There would have been a quick AR exchange of comm codes between Leroy and Pillar and the dwarf.
Pillar, take it.
Oh, and yeah, I'll be wearing my goggles now then, so because I need to be able to keep in comms with people.
Eon manages that for Payday.
She's Payday's secretary.
Essentially, yeah.
I also
go ahead.
I also don my AR gloves.
Pillar will look at Hailey and Elric. Well, think they got some leads. Why don't we head back to the shoe and see what we can find there?
Okay.
I give you a thumbs up.
So we'll, out of character, I would like to see what they kind of get into, and then if I need to, I'll do some legwork, just asking around, get some rumors, that kind of stuff.
Sure. All right. Well, you guys, Payday and Leroy, you guys are headed to just, nearby safe houses to ask around, right?
Yeah, flush out safe houses.
Knock on some very uncomfortable doors.
Sure. Go ahead and how about go ahead and give me. Let's handle this in a kind of broad way. Give me a what would this be? I guess let's just do an etiquette test. One of you guys is going to have to head that up, and you guys can handle this teamwork if you want.
Surprise, surprise! I have no ranks in etiquette.
Surprise, surprise. Payday does, but not many.
I can throw 5 dice to assist though.
Great, because that's more dice than Payday even has with it.
So the good news is I got 1 hit to assist and 3 ones on 5 dice.
Well.
Oh, great. Well, just so that you know, before we go into any situation, I've got 2 fly spies on the outside of the building in case we do happen to come upon this guy and he does decide to try to take the back door.
1 second. All right. So basically, Leroy's not going to be able to help you with this, is what it boils down to. So go ahead and roll your thing. Or did Payday already roll? Or not yet?
I did. I can re-roll if you'd like.
Yeah, if you rolled the assist dice, go ahead and re-roll.
I did, yes. 2 hits.
Okay.
And that is with a street specialization in etiquette. I imagine that works.
All right. Not a lot of people, and maybe it's because of your sketchy-looking partner who, for some reason, doesn't know how to carry himself. But not a lot of people want to talk to you at safe houses. They're kind of weary of you, and you don't get much leeway or even much of a foot in the door before they're slamming the door on you and saying we don't, basically like people asking questions around here.
They should probably be leery because I think the next step is intimidation.
Which of these guys throughout the course of the day, like if I come across one that looks like a good stoolie, or somebody that's gonna crack under, looks like a squealer, one would say. He's gonna slide that plastisteel toe boot into the door when he goes to slam it.
Okay, sure. Maybe you've tried like 3 or 4 doors that you know about, and after getting the door slammed on you several times, you're starting to get a little perturbed, a little annoyed by that. And there's the last guy is kind of squirrely looking, I guess, and nervous, and you're able to get your foot in the door.
I do have intimidation dice though.
I figured you did.
Not many. I only got 2 hits on I said please.
All right, so when you do that, and you stop him, he says, he says, I don't really want any trouble here. This is the kind of thing that you're not supposed to be coming around and asking questions like this, and we're not supposed to be keeping the door open for you.
Can I push the door open more?
You can try to force it, sure. Give me a strength. I guess give me an equivalent to lift carry.
Yeah.
What's that? Strength plus body.
It is, but apparently I'm feeling weak today in this heat with 1 hit.
Well, that's all right, because so is the person who's trying to keep the door shut, and so you kind of force the door. He kind of rolls his eyes a little bit and steps out of the way as you get the door open, and he says, "Look," and he just kind of gives up.
Hey, we're potential future business here.
Not if you act the way that you do right now.
Payday size. Ian shakes her head.
I thought the South was supposed to be hospitable.
Hospitality only goes so far, sir, he says, kind of like with venom. Now, what exactly is it that you're looking for?
It's not what, it's who.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Perfect.
Keep it up, it might turn out to be you.
Hey, don't worry about it. We won't tell anybody that you're talking to us. We understand that safe houses have a certain reputation, and we ain't cops, so...
Well, I didn't figure you guys looked much like cops, but it's not exactly just cops that we're trying to protect people from, if you know what I mean, and we won't be in business much longer if we are seen talking to you guys, so why don't we just make it quick?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Poncho, you know him?
Give me 1 second. It says Poncho is a pretty generic name. I've not recently had anything to do with a Poncho. Maybe if you know a little bit, maybe more about this guy, I might be able to point you in the right direction or something.
Start to lay down the specifics. Reach into my pocket, pull out a cred stick.
How much are you offering him?
At the moment, he's still kind of keeping the cred stick in his realm, but there's let's say 250 million on it.
Okay. Well, he says, so are you talking about, I mean, basically, I think all that Hailey was able to find out is that this Poncho guy might be associated with this Dragons gang. Are you asking, so you asking about that?
If he doesn't have anything more specific, and assuming that Hailey slid the Dragons information along to us, yeah, I guess it would be, where would they stash them, that kind of thing.
He says, okay. Yeah, I ain't had at the mention of the Dragons, he gets if he didn't already want you guys out of there as quickly as possible, now he does. He says, "Look, I haven't seen no Poncho here, but if you want the Dragons, I know a guy who is just joined up with them. Might be willing to talk to you if you're willing to throw him some cash."
Where can we find this man?
Well, he hangs out. During the day, he's usually hanging out trying to sling some drugs over in park in the Earlwood part of town. So you might be able to find him there tomorrow sometime.
Star swipe to Pillar getting this information.
Yeah, see if we can get a picture of him, or at least a description.
He describes him to you. He says he's kind of a pretty generic kind of guy, but Earlwood Park is he's going to be the only guy with dragon tattoo in that kind of area. It's pretty nice. It's a fairly decent part of town, and I guess the Dragons are trying to make their mark in there or something. So it shouldn't be hard to spot hanging out in the park there. But he gives you kind of a rough description. It's generic sounding, but he tells you what people of that gang are going to typically look like. Primarily having a dragon tattoo somewhere, either on their shoulder blade or on their forearm or something.
All right. That's enough to get started.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to close the door and you guys be on the other side of it, okay? Can we end this now?
Yeah, I appreciate the information.
Yeah, well, I don't appreciate you coming in here and asking for it, so just be on your way. And he kind of shuffles you out and closes the door.
I'll leave him with the cred stick.
He's a little bit nicer when you hand it to him. His name is Charlie, by the way.
I look to Leroy as we get out there and we start walking back to our vehicles. So, do you figure Charlie might be placing any calls behind our backs there, or should we be testing Charlie right now to see if he's on the up and up?
Can I look at judge intentions on him?
Absolutely.
3 hits.
As far as you can tell, I mean, he seemed like he's not trying to hide anything from you. He seemed like he was genuinely giving you the information. He wanted you out of there, and maybe lying to you didn't seem like the most efficient way to do that.
Sure wouldn't have been. He's a squealer. He's going to squeal. But inviting trouble, we'll just have to come back.
Fair enough. Let's go, Eon.
All right. So, you guys have the name of Dragon's gang member. Or you don't have a name, but you have a person who's going to be in a park. Hold on, my daughter has to show me some bracelets.
Pillar's gonna look over at Hailey. What do you do, darling?
I find out stuff.
Oh.
There's all sorts of interesting stuff happening all the time if you just look.
Really? So what did you find out today?
Well, I found out that the person we're looking for is with the dragons, but that's some kind of gang. But I can't find out too much information about them because, they're kind of secret, and I don't have secret yet. But I'm still looking.
Maybe we should go talk to those guys.
To a gang? Cool.
Yeah, Danny talks to gang members all the time, don't you?
No. No.
Hailey's, her eyes are about the size of, dollar bill coins, looking at you. Very, very impressed.
We should probably have those other guys with us, though.
Yeah, they were scary.
Eh? You find them scary? That one's pretty short.
Racist.
Elric sort of gives Danny a dirty look.
Hey, you're pretty short too, Stretch.
I'm not short. 5 feet is average.
For what?
Some parts of the world.
Yeah, where, man?
All right, so you guys were told that this guy is there during the days. Well, you were given a time of day. Evenings, but he said he'd be there tomorrow. He could be there this evening. Who knows? The point is, what are Leroy and Payday doing?
Do we get any other leads from anybody else, or is this our best bet so far? Awkward silence.
That's all that he told you about.
Yeah, after wandering the shoe for a while, in this exchange, Elric's going to start waving his hands in the air as he taps out a comm message, wearing his goggles, out to the new comm numbers he's got for these guys, Leroy and Payday, saying, we're going to go talk to the Dragons gang. Can you come with?
Eon responds, that sounds dangerous.
I know, right?
Thought that was tomorrow.
Now we're going to go find their turf and talk to him tonight. What's tomorrow?
Oh, he's brave, isn't he?
Hey, he's got some spunk. But I think we should go tomorrow. Let's see if we can make a deal with this guy.
You want to go talk to a gang, big man?
That sounds like they might have the info we need.
Somewhere on a motorcycle, he's just like, did he just think he was talking to him? Just like that small head of all right, I get that he's a dwarf, but you're short, so.
Hey, I'll take what I can get.
Daniel, check our comm link. What time is it?
It's probably around 7:30-ish.
It's still pretty early. You guys want to go? We can go have a gander. If nothing else, we can check out this park.
Right, well, does anybody know where the Dragon Gang is? Did they have
I don't know a lot about gangs.
2 hits on a local area knowledge?
They should have a turf or something, right?
Imagine probably that park. At least that's one spot.
Yeah, who the hell says that Safe House Charlie knows everything there is to know about this guy anyway?
Sells drugs as a gang member. What else is there to know?
Haley, can
By
you-
the way, as an aside, out of character, I gave you the name of the wrong park. It's actually Greenview Park, and it's in the Dentsville part of town. Not that it particularly matters to you guys right now, but for continuity purposes.
Greenview.
I'm not incredibly valuing the information from Charlie there. Let me place a little call. Got an old friend in the area.
All right, Haley, can you search the Matrix and maybe find out the right gang signs we're going to need to use so we don't get shot?
Sure thing.
I hope
I mean,
shoot me.
Throw
There's
up
gotta-
those gang signs.
there's got to be a
Remind you
database
guys
out there
to love
somewhere, right?
me. 7.
Are you doing a matrix search and you got 7 hits?
Yes.
What did you Google gang signs?
I Googled images of them, hoping that I would catch pictures of what they were doing so that I could see who they are and maybe see what they're wearing and, that kind of stuff. Because I know they're secret. So they
Yeah.
got to do stuff.
Yeah, 7 hits. You got actually a lot of good images and information. You probably even found a matrix site, so to speak, that maybe was sloppily thrown together of people, whatever. Nothing that was official by them or anything, but there's some images you see that, like was insinuated. They all have dragon tattoos. They look like your typical kind of rough and tumble kind of street gang. They've got a lot of membership. There are gang signs. They've got colors that are black and green. Yeah.
So the dragon, is it like a Western dragon, an Eastern dragon? Are they Yakuza wannabe?
It's not an Oriental looking dragon at all. It's so like it's just a very generic dragon. It's a serpentine dragon image is what their gang sign or the imagery looks like, but it's not like really ornate. It doesn't look, you know how like an Asian kind of dragon would look. It doesn't look like that. It's just a very plain generic dragon image.
It's like an 80s cartoon.
Yeah, this is sort of coincidental, honestly, but if you imagine the Shadowrun logo S, it's more like that. It's very,
How meta.
yeah, really. It's just very simple. Just enough to say this is a dragon symbol.
Well, the call that I was going to place would have been to Marauder, the enforcer there for the Diamondbacks.
Okay. Well, Marauder answers the comm, says, "Hello.
Long time no speak. It's Hector.
How's it going? What? Just for my purposes, what kind of a loyalty do you have with Marauder?"
Pretty much strictly business. It was 2 loyalty.
Have you spoken to him since you've been back in town, or has it not been since
I'd say
last time?
this is the first in a long time.
All right, he says, Hector. And he kind of thinks for a second and he goes, Hector? Ah, Drek, man. It's been
The
a long time.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Got,
So, how's it been, man?
it's been better, but I'm working a job right now, and to make a long story short, we're getting involved with a local gang around here, the Dragons.
Ooh.
Got anything that I might be able to use? They're harboring some idiot.
So, I mean, what do you want? The Dragons, they're kind of just your typical kind of rough street gang. They're earning themselves a reputation for being tough guys. Kind of whatever. But I mean, what do you need to know?
Well, first off, really what I'm going up against here, they big, they small. Gangs aren't my thing.
I mean, they're kind of they operate kind of outside of our business here in the DMC, but the Diamondbacks, but and they're on the other side of town. I've just basically heard of them. They I hear they have some kind of weird humanist connections. I don't know, but who doesn't around here?
Fraggers. Any idea? I've got a possible lead from someone we shook down. Any idea about a direction I can go, someone else I can shake down? I'm trying to assess all my options.
I mean, like I said, I don't deal a lot with them, but I know just from going through that part of town, they do a lot of dealing out in public areas. So you might be able to. Shouldn't be hard to find someone around their turf. They're kind of the western part of the Dentsville area, and he kind of gives you a general area that you might be able to find them.
All right, I will share that info and thank him. Tell him if I open up shop again around here, I'll let you know. I'm thinking that it's possible I might stay. I don't have any more ground to run to.
Well, we can always use someone with your kind of special skills around here with our line of work. So if you ever think we can maybe we'll give you a call if we need something worked on, some bikes and stuff.
Or some other work. I'm involved in all kinds of shadowy business these days.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's going to be like that, then yeah, I'll keep my eyes and ears open.
Thanks, Marauder. I hang up.
No problem. Give me you have a Columbia area knowledge?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead and roll that real quick.
It's a general of 3, but this would be outside the horseshoe, would it not?
Yes, absolutely.
So I won't be able to use that specialty. Gotcha. That one was decent. 4 successes.
All right. Then you definitely know the area that he was talking about, the Dentsville area. Yeah. The park that you guys were told about is in that area.
At least that adds up. I will relay what I've got.
All right. So you guys all headed to Dragon Turf.
I think so.
Yes.
Are you going to this park, or are you going to roam the streets, or what's going on?
I'm gonna go to that park.
How far away is this?
You guys are in the horseshoe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's probably it's after business hours and everything, so probably take you about 20-minute drive.
Okay, so definitely not walking range.
Oh, no. You would not want to walk there.
Right.
Hailey doesn't have a car.
I don't know.
You know what the greatest part about running a campaign in a town that you live in is? I just know the driving distances.
So, are there buses running at this hour?
Yeah. Yeah. You could probably find a bus that goes out there. Yeah.
Yeah, shady 8 o'clock bus. Let's go, guys. Come on.
I go.
Nobody has a van. Is that going to be like a first thing you guys save up for?
Nope.
Yeah, our rigger apparently has a 2-seater.
That's right. He does. Freeloaders.
All right. Well, you guys managed to find a bus. It's going to take longer than 20 minutes for you to get there on the bus. Maybe more like 45 minutes.
Be better.
That gives me
All right.
That gives me plenty of time to cook up maybe a couple of alchemical doodads.
You do that on the bus?
Elric, stop being weird on the bus.
I was like digging through my bags.
Not the weirdest thing here.
Like, yeah, occasionally like holding something up and doing some weird gestures and kind of mumbling underneath my breath.
Now, those of you who Elric wouldn't necessarily know or remember this, he might, but those of you who have spent all your time in the rough life of Columbia would know that the prejudice extends past metahumanity into often into awakened types as well. People are often suspicious of magic-y, doodaddy people.
Well, they can't just see that, right?
It depends on how obvious he's being. I'm not trying to discourage anything. I'm just letting you know.
If I'm doing alchemical preparation, I'm assuming I can't be completely inobvious about it.
It involves breaking out your alchemy kit and doing very obviously weird stuff.
No, you don't need a kit to do it.
But you do
You
need
don't
weird
really
stuff.
need much physical stuff. Yeah, just some weird stuff, linchpin and whatnot. So, unlike measuring out some liquids and pouring them into small metal things, and I'm gonna see if I can't cook up a few contact trigger preparations in the form of small potions.
Danny will insist to anybody who's watching, like, oh, it's fine. It's not drugs. Actually, it's probably
It'd be
drugs.
better if it was, I
It's
think.
better if it's drugs.
It's totally
Um,
drugs.
Give me a con roll for Pillar.
5 hits.
All right. Yeah, so while you're doing this and you go ahead and roll whatever you're trying to make a preparation for there, Elric. But while Elric is at this, people are definitely, over their shoulders giving weird looks and stuff like that and whispering to each other and pointing, and they seem pretty suspicious. And then at the mention, maybe Pillar is able to convince them that it's at least not magic.
Definitely not magic. He's just a little special. He thinks he's too magic.
I do my best to ignore you while I concentrate on making these.
This bartender's the new type of drink.
He's studying for his mixology exam.
Just likes the colors. Alright, so yeah, we'll head on the bus until we get to the Greenville Park? Greenview.
Yeah, the bus stops several blocks away, but it's getting to be the evening now. The sun's going down. It's not anywhere near as hot, so it's not a bad walk. Anybody Payday, you would know this. I won't make everybody roll for it. Anybody who wants to roll for it to have their character, if you feel like you want your character to know this, you can. But the Payday, that the part of town that this is, Dentsville, is you're getting farther and farther away from downtown, and it's more of a, well, let's just say it's more of a anti-metahuman area. Like you get more concentration of that kind of thing in this part of town. It's the northeastern kind of part of town.
Well, I'll give them a general warning in regards to that.
All right, so you guys make it to the park, and it's a park. It's in the evening. There's nobody really there. I mean, there are people there, but they're, it's in the evening, at night at the park,
we
and
just
it's
lost someone.
shady types. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we just lost someone though.
Oh yeah, we looks like Cassie just dropped out. I'm sure she'll be back.
So I pass out a small potion to two potions each to Hailey and Danny. I point out one of them is an armor spell that will last for a short time, and the other is a healing spell. They're clearly marked.
Nice.
I have one of each of those on my person as well.
All right, cool.
And there's no reason to hoard them because they won't work in a few hours, so use them at the first opportunity. They might be useful.
All right, Chummers, this is how it's going to work. You're going to do your thing out there. I'm going to be on Overwatch. I'm not getting out of the car right now. Things go bad. Things go really bad. You can consider me the cavalry. I'll be monitoring the situation, hopefully through some AR feeds as well as some fly spies.
And then I'm going to approach Leroy then with I have two small metal vials. And all right, these two are alchemical preparations. This one is an armor spell. This one is a healing spell. They'll wear out after a few hours, but they won't last long after you trigger them. So
He's just gonna give you one of those giant raised eyebrows of like, okay. Yeah.
I had to use really, really cheap vodka as the base for it, so I apologize for the taste.
I was about to ask how, and he's gonna do really big finger quotes, activating them.
Technically, you don't have to drink it. You can just pour it on your skin.
Said it had vodka in it, right?
Yeah, as the base.
I'm just
What
more
an-
impressed he actually used booze.
Who bought it for you?
Very funny, direct face.
What's the drinking age here, by the way?
See if I hook you up with any protection magic.
I don't think it'll really matter because it's hilarious. But what is actually the drinking age in the Sixth World?
I assume it's still 21.
Does
Man,
Leroy have obvious cyberware?
Let me take a look. I think the most obvious might be his nose that's been broken a few too many times, so he got a brand new shiny chrome one. Not like shiny as though a giant chrome beak, but probably less scuffed up than the rest of him. But he definitely has that that I have half a point of essence left look.
That's what I wanted. Pillar will look at you up and down and look at Elric like, honey, your preparations aren't gonna work all that great on a guy like that.
Stink eye.
The healing magic isn't likely to do much, but the armor spell should work just as well on him as it would on you or me.
True enough.
Now, just so everybody knows, who did you give these to?
Let's see. Hailey and Danny each have a Force 6 Potency 3 healing potion and a Force 4 Potency 4 armor spell potion. I have a Force 4 Potency 2 armor potion, and the obnoxious elf has a Force 4 Potency 2 armor and a Force 6 Potency 1 heal.
You should have that in a Google Drive document separate so that you can throw it into the chat. Because I tell you this, I've already forgotten the numbers you said.
Well, I've got them written down, so.
Yeah.
So,
What does that translate into for me?
Just when you drink one, I'll tell you what happens.
Okay.
One of them's armor, one of them's healing. So.
all right, seeing as Eon and I are on Overwatch, and I don't know you yet, really, any of you. Anything I should know before we get into this?
My name's Elric. Magic.
Oh, sorry, man. Little guy, my name's Pillar. Just talk usually.
Pillar?
Pillar.
Right, I gotta remember to call you that. Sorry.
Now you remember. Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm Hailey.
Hi, Hailey. What do you do?
Well, I've never actually been in a fight.
What the frack are you doing here, then?
Well, I can learn real quick.
Wait, who said anything about fighting?
Well, that's what they were talking about, right?
Well, the armor spell, that's defensive measures just in case. I mean, there are gangers. They might just start shooting at us for no reason, but we're not here to start a gang war. We played this off right.
Because I thought you had to have 2 gangs in order to have a gang war.
No. This is what we got Pillar here for. She just said she did the talking. All right, so you just... All right, you're what, moral support? And Eon gives a grunt and he's like, all right, I'll go off.
Be alright, man.
Really? Yeah, but shut it.
You two can handle all this, right? If anything goes wrong, you guys got this. I'll watch these two, alright?
I apologize for Payday. He doesn't have much in the way of manners or regard for others.
That's alright, honey. We'll teach you some.
All right, so you guys heading into the park?
Yeah.
Just give me a perception test, whoever's going to be going in there.
Before we actually go, I'm going to summon up a Force 6 Fire Spirit.
All right, no problem.
And I'm wrapping myself in my rigor cocoon and slipping on my my ballistic mask.
Bobby, do you want to roll the dice against me for the spirit, or just have me do it?
I'll do it. What force?
Force 6.
Before we go in, Pillar would like to walk in like a boss.
All right.
6 hits, no glitch.
I got 2, so you got 4 net.
Alright, so it means 5 services because I have affinity.
Nice.
Right, I'm just going to have it hanging out in Astrals nearby.
Okay. What type of spirit was it again?
Spirit of Fire, and I got to pick the optionals too.
All right. Okay, so you guys are heading in. What kind of perception test rolls did we get?
4.
3.
All right. Well, anybody who got 3 or more, you can find near a picnic table on the other end of the park, kind of near, around, so to speak, a playground area. There's 3 dudes who very much resemble dragons, members from afar, and if you were to get closer, you would see, or if you had any like vision enhancement that you used, you could see that they've got the tattoos. So you've got 3 dragons gang members that are kind of like sitting around chatting with each other, smoking cigarettes and talking.
And I am launching 2 fly spy drones.
Got it.
What's the play?
Oh, they're just sitting there talking? Pillar's just going to walk up and talk to him.
But
All right.
hang back a few meters. I'll be, kind of nearby. Keeping an eye out for any threat Pillar.
I would say, does either of them look like the guy we heard about? We had a general description for.
Yeah, one of them does. He's got the tattoo on his forearm, like you were told he would. The other two don't. The other two have it on their, like they're wearing, during like sleeveless shirts, and you can see it on poking out of their on their shoulder blade. But one of them who's sitting down, and the other two are laughing, and he's kind of like telling a story, and they're all like laughing at him and stuff.
I'd like to shift to astral perception and sense them all.
Roll it.
That would be 3 hits. Do you want me to roll for each person?
No, that's fine. They're all looking pretty happy. I have to stall while I look up that chart.
And mainly what I want to be doing is observing from astral space and watching for any spikes in their emotions that might give away, telegraph and any impending violence against my sister or anyone else in our team. But also I'd like to know if there's any spirits hanging out or spells in them, or if they're magically active or something. That would be useful knowledge as well.
All right, so they don't have any cyberware that you can see. Their essence is equal to yours. You have an essence of 6, correct?
That's correct.
They don't seem awakened, and they seem pretty healthy, and they're having a good time. And
Okay,
and you don't
just
notice
keep a close eye on them.
anything magical around. So, all right. So, Pillar's walking up, right, doing the boss walk.
Yeah. Just gonna give them a big smile, kind of laugh whenever they laugh, and then just want to walk straight up, talk to that one guy we got kind of the hints for.
They, they're in mid laugh, and then they kind of see you off the side, and give you kind of a sideways glance, and their mood quickly changes to, like they puff out their chests and they say, "Well, what do we got here?"
I'm just looking to score something. I heard you were a person to look for.
Well, what makes you think I want to give anything to anybody? What makes you think I got anything?
Oh, I heard from a friend, a little bit of money would go a long ways with you.
A little bit of money. What kind of money could someone like your kind make anyway?
Do all right.
Well, we don't normally sell to people like you.
Oh, but I'm one of the good ones.
Go ahead and, just for my purposes, give me a negotiation.
Diplomacy?
Yes, let's do that.
Elric in the background, a few meters away, is almost on the verge of hyperventilating. His sir kind of balled up.
I got 3 hits.
Okay. He says, one of the good ones, huh? You know how many times I hear that. What do you...
What do you say? Go ahead.
What are you looking to score?
Just a little Nova if you got it to start with, and I might need some information.
Ooh, Nova's one thing. All right, the information's a totally different thing. What kind of? I don't know about information.
No, I'm say for 200 new yen.
Ooh, 200 new yen. For someone like you, that might cover a couple of hits of Nova Coke, but I don't know. We might have to up that price a little bit if you want to know anything else, and it all depends on what you want to know.
I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's gone missing. His name's Poncho.
At the mention of the name Poncho, like they don't look. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. They don't look nervous or anything, but you see a light of like they definitely know the name Poncho.
Give him a yeah, good.
What makes you? Why are you coming around here asking about Poncho?
Oh man, I've got a friend who's looking for me. He's been missing for a bit. We just want to check on the kid.
What kind of friend?
Somebody in our business,
Give me another roll. Give yourself an extra die for reasons.
Okay. Am I being trustworthy?
You they don't seem like they're trying to hide anything. They're kind of like they're just kind of you've piqued their interest at the name.
I got 3 hits again.
Okay. They say it's funny. You're gonna have to. I can tell you what I know about Poncho. It's gonna cost you 400 million though.
Oh, come on. We're both business people, and I'm already going to get a little bit of, Nova off you. Let's say 250.
350, and I'll give you 2 hits.
All right, sounds good. I'll do that.
All right, so he hands you you hand him money. He hands you 2 hits of Nova Coke, and he says, Poncho. It's funny. It's funny that you come asking about Poncho all of a sudden. We don't know where he is neither.
He's a bit of a joke, but why don't you tell me why you think it's funny?
We haven't well, it's not exactly funny. We haven't been able to find him neither. Boss of ours, friend of ours, he's kind of in need of finding him.
Well, I'm looking for him anyway. I might be able to find him for you as well. What do you guys need him for?
Well, it's not so much that we need him for this or that. He's a friend of our employer.
Oh, that sounds about right. Poncho's a friendly guy.
Anyway, last I heard about Poncho was that he was he was with our boss, the Icefyre. He says Icefyre. And they were out, talking to this guy. This guy was in the news, and Samuel Johnson. And after they, talked to this Samuel Johnson guy, had their business with him, Poncho went missing, and we don't know where he is.
You know about where this Samuel Johnson guy is?
I don't know nothing about the Samuel Johnson guy. I'm sure you could read about him. He's been in the news all day.
As you know, I have a habit of not watching the news.
Well, I have a habit of not reading the news. I don't do a lot of reading.
That's fair. It's a waste of time. So your boss, he's looking for Poncho. They're good friends then.
Yeah, they're buds.
Might be able to pay something for that, or a little favor if we find him for him.
I can talk to the right people and see. Well, you know what? He kind of suddenly thinks, it's like a light bulb goes off in his head. He says, you know what? If you can come back and tell me, if you can find out where Poncho is, and you let me know where he is, then I'll give you 500 million.
All right, I like that. Keeps my name out of it. Makes you look good.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, my name's. People call me Danny. What's your name?
Look, my name's not important. Well, I guess you'll need to know my name. They call me Alpine.
Alpine. I got it. I will keep track of that. Yeah, I'll come back here. I'll come look for it and we find out what's going on with Poncho.
Well, you do that. Like I said, there's 500 million in for it, so I can, let my boss know where his friend is.
Not a problem, honey. We'll come back look for you. Thanks again for this cap or pocket where she put the Nova. And she'll go back to the team.
Yeah, and as you're walking off, he says, and you look, don't tell nobody that I was making a deal with you, because it wouldn't look good, you being who you are and me being who I am.
It's no worries. Gotta do what we gotta do for business.
Yeah, sure. Now you move on. Get.
As soon as she turns her back, she'll kind of laugh to herself at that.
This guy definitely had the air of confidence about him. Like he felt like he had complete and total control over the situation.
Absolutely.
He sounds like the kind of man who didn't want to get a beating.
Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed. This show would literally not be possible without the generous support of our patrons over at Patreon. If you like the show and you want to help support it, head on over to patreon.com/complexaction. Supporting can get you access to GM notes and even the ability to vote on the direction that the story will take. Now that's patreon.com/complexaction to help out. There are several NPCs and organizations which were provided by patrons of Complex Action, and those were the Dragons and their leader Icefyre, provided by Robert McPherson, and Marauder and the Diamondback Motorcycle Club were both provided by David Frederick. Thank you guys so much for being patrons, and everyone look forward to seeing the rest of your NPCs featured into the show. Thank you again for listening, and bye-bye. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.